Hello, my name is Terry. I am a full-time eBay seller, and if you haven't been to my channel before, I live in Oregon, right outside of Portland, and I like to share what I have found at estate sales or what I have sold on eBay. So today is going to be a video on what I have sold in the past 7 days. Some of the things I am not going to share with you because they were either low value or just really not that interesting. So I believe I have 27 things to share with you today. LGB Train tracks. And I had purchased quite a large lot of in-box locomotives, train tracks. This was just kind of a mixed box of different train tracks, and so I have sold 90% of the LGB trains and the tracks, and this is just what I have left. And so this track sold for $55, and I had $14.28 into it. When I purchased the large lot, I just did an average of what each one of them cost me. And so each one was $14.28. And so this was a great profit on this for $55. Okay, next we have this Vintage World Bible. Comes in its own box. And I paid $1.50 for this at an estate sale, and I sold it for $20. Next, I have the Great Courses DVD set. There's 8 of them in here. If you watched my last video, I think it was, I had showed where I had picked up from an estate sale a really large box filled with these. Some of them came with books and quite a few DVDs in a set. This one has been taken out of the plastic, but I don't think the DVDs were ever played. They look brand new, but a lot of them in the large box that I purchased had never been taken out of the plastic. This is my second time picking up a very large lot of these Great Courses, and they sell very quickly. So this particular one I sold for $20. I did an average price of each bundle, even though this is just one. Some of them come in bundles. So they were $1.50 a bundle. And so I have $1.50 into this, sold for $20. Next I have this vintage Mickey and Donald Duck. They're very cute. I have $5 into these, and they sold for $25. They actually have a pull string on them.
Oh my goodness!
I think they're very cute. So these will be going out today. Okay, next I have this vintage Cambridge Bible. I put on an auction. I wasn't sure exactly what it was worth, so I just put it up there for $75. Immediately had probably 5 or 6 watchers by the end of the auction. I think I had over 10 watchers on it with one bid. And it doesn't look like it was ever even read. It's in excellent condition. So it sold for $75. I was very happy with that. All right, next is this Enya. It's a CD set, and it has a little booklet in it. I am not familiar with this musician, but definitely keep your eyes open for sets like these because sometimes they could be valuable. I picked this up at an estate sale. There were 2 of them identical, and I paid $3.50 for each one, and I sold each one for $40. And they didn't take too long to sell, maybe just a couple of months. This Rosetta Stone language teaching set, Latin. I had no idea that they were this valuable. I went to an estate sale on the first day and the last day, so this was discounted on the last day. Nobody had picked them up on the previous 2 days of the estate sale, and I ended up getting 4 of them for 50 cents each, and this one sold for 55. So there's quite a few CDs in here, and a brand new headset. It has all the instructions to it, so it is definitely in like new condition. I don't think it was ever used. Definitely the headphones in it were never used, and the CDs in it look very new. So keep your eye open for this, because these sold very quickly. I only had it listed for a week. This Circulon pan, this 14-inch, I picked up for $6 at an estate sale. I believe it was right before Christmas, and paid $6 for it and sold it for $46. So I don't think this was ever used. It was taken out of the box, but it's in fantastic condition. Okay, here's another Rosetta Stone that I picked up at the same sale, paid 50 cents for it. This one is Hindi language, and it sold for $80 very quickly as well. This is a Thomas Jefferson audiobook, brand new, never opened. Picked it up for $1 and sold it for $20. Always look out for audiobooks and look them up to see what they're worth. Some of them aren't worth anything, and some of them could be quite valuable. I feel like this was in the middle range there. $20 off $1 profit is pretty good though. Here's another great courses that I picked up for $1.50. As I had said, I did an average of the whole big box for each bundle, and this one sold for $25. This is the history of ancient Egypt. Next up are these Clark's shoes, and I purchased these from an estate sale a few weeks ago. I picked up, I think, 4 pair of brand new shoes. 3 of them were Clark's and 1 was a vintage Adidas, and none of them were used. They were new in box, so they were $5 each, and these sold for $30. The rest of the things are items that I have already shipped out, so I'll just go through them quickly and let you know what I paid for them and what they sold for. So the first one is a vintage stove burner cover, and I was at an estate sale. There was a huge stack of them. There was no price tag on them. It was the last day. I get up to pay for all of my items, and she gave me the whole stack for $1. So I literally have 10 or 20 cents into these, and they sold for 15. And I have watchers on all of the other ones that I have listed. So look out for these, they're kind of cool. Next is Avon perfume, and I paid $4 for it, and I sold it for $15. Next is this platinum Panasonic RX 5050 that I sold for parts and repair because the cassette player in it wasn't working, but everything else worked fantastic. I bought this at Goodwill for $19.99, and I sold it for $80. I did have it listed, I think, for $130 or $150, and I dropped the price a little bit. It always had watchers on it, but I finally reached out and offered $80 to somebody, and they accepted. Next is the musician dice. If you saw my last video, I had just purchased these, just listed them. I purchased them for $5 and sold them for $25. Vintage Ginete perfume sells very well. Also the powders. I don't believe the powders can be used and opened and used. The perfume with a spray on them can be, but not the powders. So I paid $12 for this, and I sold it for $35. Next is the Great Courses. Again, this was the book only, no DVDs to it. And so again, I paid $1.50 and I sold it for $30. And I bought my whole big box for $40, I believe it was. And so I am way into the profit already. Next is this Microsoft mouse. I picked up 2 of these from a sale for $4 each, and this one sold pretty quickly for $30, so I still do have one left. This lighted oval mirror I picked up for $6 a few months ago at an estate sale, and it sold for $25. This large LGB locomotive train I picked up with all the other LGB, like I showed you the tracks earlier. This is the second time this one sold, actually. The first time it sold for $500, and when they received it and they turned it on, it made everything worked, but it just made a high screeching noise, and so they sent it back, and I fully refunded them and took it to a local train mechanic, and they fixed it, and they said it only needed to be lubed, so it was working perfectly, and I just sent this out and they paid $400 for it. So this set, I love this set, it's so pretty. It is Benjamin and Medwin Duro Copper pan set. I'm not sure I'm saying that right, but I paid $50 for this, and it sold pretty quickly for $210 on auction. There was a little bit of a bidding war going on at the end, so I was very happy with that. This vintage Conair hair straightener, I paid $1 for, and I sold it for $35. I always keep my eyes open for these new in-box hair accessories, you know, for straightening or curling, especially this one sold pretty good. I mean, that was a great profit, but I love the Vidal Sassoon ones as well. They sell really well. This Star Wars Millennium Falcon was on an auction for $49, and I just had one bid on it, and so I sold it for $49, and I had paid $25. This vintage Magnolite 13-quart roasting pan I paid $35 for, and I sold it for $219. This is the second time I sold it. It was in an auction a few weeks ago, and there was a bidding war going on, and the person that won never paid. So after 7 days, you're finally able to cancel the order and relist it, and I decided to just do it at a buy it now. Took a couple weeks, and then it sold for my full asking price of what it went for at the top price at the auction, which was $219. Okay, so this Paloma Picasso vintage perfumed powder I picked up probably about 4 or 5 months ago at an estate sale. I purchased 2 of them, and they were $18 each. I think I had them listed for over $200 each, and I dropped the price. And then I've always had quite a few watchers on them, so I put out an offer for $167, and somebody accepted. So that is amazing. I have never heard of this brand, but when I was at the estate sale, I just did a quick search on eBay to see if anything like this had sold, and I saw they were really high, so I grabbed them both, and they were both brand new in the box. My Yale Shakespeare Book Set that I had mentioned and showed you on my last video that I purchased for $20 sold for $175 in about a week or so. So that was a very good purchase. And so that is it for today. So thank you for watching. If you like this, please subscribe down below. Thank you.